going back to what I said about creating processes and chasing things, if your desire is to see excellence in your worship team, i.e. you want them to perform better, you want them to have better stage performance, you want them to be better at their technical positions, or you want them to be better at music readers, that kind of stuff and that level of excellence is already in existence because we have professional musicians all over the world doing incredible things. But fun fact, not all of them read music. Fun fact, not all of them play to a click. And fun fact, not all of them have formal educations in music. So stop defining the excellence as it has to be that. Instead, be the definer of excellence by creating those processes. Stop chasing after things that are not important. Stop rebelling against those in authority over you and work on the relationship that you have with them. And stop defining things that don't matter and start defining things that do. So I want you to do something. Ask yourself this question: what do you need to work on? Do you need to work on not chasing things that don't matter for you, for your personal life, for your spiritual life, for your church culture, for your worship culture, for your worship team, your tech team, you name it? Do you need to work on not rebelling against your leadership over you? In other words, you need to stop seeing your senior pastor, your elder board, your executive pastor, your executive team as out to get you, or they don't see things like you do, or they're not as creative as you. Maybe you need to stop rebelling against them. And then finally, worship leaders must stop defining excellence as elevation or Hillsong, or defining excellence as you name it, or stop defining what good performance is versus bad performance. Stop defining those things. Keep it fluid. Now, I know what you're hearing and I know what you're thinking because I thought it too. When I define excellence, that becomes a black and white that you can no longer turn back from. And oftentimes, for some churches in some contexts, is devoid of grace. It does not afford anybody on the team the opportunity to get better. For me, there are countless scriptures, specifically, you'll find a lot of them in the Psalms, that we are commanded to sing God's praises. There are a whole lot of other commands for us about worshiping God, but singing is one of them. And frankly, it doesn't really define how that singing occurs. Does not say that it has to be audible, though the word singing is, by definition, the intent or the behavior of projecting one's voice in a singing way with a melodic note to it. But at a minimum, if your church culture is not singing the songs with you, yeah, maybe a conversation with your senior pastor, your elder board, your executive team about defining that and putting that word out there for your congregation is important. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the idea is that worship leaders must stop chasing you fill in the blank. When I say stop chasing, I mean that they need to stop chasing what ministry success looks like. Ministry success looks different for different church cultures and different church environments. If you're working at Elevation, ministry success looks like their culture. If you're working at a small church in Middle America, your definition of success looks very different. And frankly, all of those things are really defined by the leadership that is over you, which goes back to my original point. Worship leaders must be humble and be obedient and follow their leadership. If you have a leader who has no desire to grow their church but wants to stay in a very small church, then you need to stop chasing the idea that you need to be the next Matt Brock or Brandon Lake.